Hello everyone, I am Shankha Subra Saniyal. I would like to take this privilege in thanking you all for sending your replies, sending your queries. I'm really overwhelmed with your responses. I begin this session with a small quote from Swami Vivekanand. It says that there is a very small difference between dream and aim. Now, what is dream? Dream is something which requires effortless sleep, while aim requires a sleepless effort. I believe you people would understand the difference between these. So today I expect I am interacting with students who are awake, right? In this session, the third of the series, we are going to discuss about the advantages of friction. So let's begin the session. Frictional force plays an important role in our daily life. In some cases, friction is useful and we want to keep it. But in other cases, friction is harmful and we wish to reduce it. We'll now discuss the advantages and disadvantages of friction in details, but one by one. Friction is necessary because it helps us in performing a lot of our day-to-day activities. So it is having a lot of advantages. Let us see one by one what are these. We can walk without sleeping. It's just because of friction. Even a car which can move on the road without skidding, it's because of friction. When we are traveling in a vehicle, we do need to apply brakes. These brakes can be applied, it's just because of friction. When we draw or write, maybe on the blackboard or on the copy, that we can do only because friction exists. Every now and then we need to hold things and pick it up. This can also be done because friction is existent. Nails can be fixed on the walls or a matchstick can be lit. It's all because of friction. We can cut wood with a saw and that's also because of friction. So let us deal with all these one by one and see how friction is advantageous to us. We are able to walk on ground because friction between the sole of our shoes and ground prevents us from slipping over the ground. Let us discuss how it actually happens. In order to take a step forward during walking, we lift one foot off the ground and push the ground backwards with the other foot. If there were no friction between the sole of our shoe and ground, then our shoe on the ground would slip backwards. Since we push the ground backwards, the force of friction acts in the opposite direction, which is the forward direction, and prevents our foot from slipping backward. So, it is the force of friction which makes us move forward at each step. If there were no friction between the sole of our shoe and the ground, it would not be possible to walk because our shoe would slip every time we tried to walk. In fact, walking on slippery ground is difficult because the frictional force on slippery ground is much less, which may not be sufficient to prevent us from slipping. Isn't that why it is very difficult to walk on a well-polished surface? Or maybe when you step onto a banana skin, you tend to slip. That's because the friction over there is very less. The friction between the tires of a car and the road enables a car to move forward on road without skidding. Let us again check how this happens. When the engine of car makes the wheel of the car turn, the tire pushes the road backwards at its point of contact with the road. The friction between tire of car and the surface of the road acts in the forward direction and prevents it from skidding. In this way, friction provides the forward force which drives the car. If there were no friction between car tire and road, then the wheels of car would spin at the same place, but the car would not move forward at all. The car would stay where it was. It becomes somewhat difficult to drive and control a car on wet road. This is because the presence of water on the surface of the wet road reduces the friction and makes it slippery. And because of reduced friction, there are more chances of skidding of car, especially when brakes are applied suddenly. So, driving a car on wet roads need extra care. Just like a car, friction also enables a bicycle to move along a road. In fact, all the vehicles are able to move on the road because of the presence of friction between their tires and the surface of the road. The brakes of a car work by friction. In a disc brake, a steel disc attached behind each car wheel spins between two small brake pads. When the brakes are applied to the running car by pushing the brake pedal, the brake pads press against the disc of the rotating car wheels. This produces friction between brake pads and the disc, making the wheels to slow down and ultimately stop. The brakes of a bicycle also works by friction. When the bicycle is running, the brake pads of bicycle do not touch the wheels. There is a gap between them. But when we press the brake lever to apply brakes to the running bicycle, then the brake pads rub on the rims of the bicycle wheel. The friction between brake pad and rim prevents the wheel from moving ahead. Due to this, the running bicycle slows down and finally stops. If there were no friction, then only a vehicle started moving. It would never stop because friction would not work, as brakes are based on friction. In fact, had there been no friction between the tires of vehicles and the road, the vehicles could not be stopped or turned to change the direction of motion. We are able to write and make beautiful drawings on paper because there is friction between the tip of the pencil or maybe the pen and the paper. The pencil has a thin black core made of carbon or graphite, which is called the pencil lead. When we write with the pencil, friction with paper rubs off carbon particles from the pencil lead, which stick to the paper and leave black marks on paper, which we see as our writing. Similarly, when we write with a pen, the particles of ink rub off from the pen's refill due to friction with paper, stick on the paper and leave mark of writing on the paper. If there were no friction between the pencil or pen and paper, writing and drawing on paper would not have been possible. We cannot write with a pencil on a glass sheet, can we? Because the glass surface is very smooth, due to which the friction between the tip of the pencil and glass surface is much less. In fact, the same thing is with plastic as well. This friction is not sufficient to rub off black graphite particles from the tip of the pencil. A teacher is able to write on the blackboard with a chalk due to friction between the blackboard and the chalk. When the teacher starts to write on the blackboard with a chalk, the rough surface of blackboard rubs on some chalk particles which sticks to the blackboard and appear as writing on the blackboard. We are able to pick up books and hold it in our hands because of friction between the book and the hands. Similarly, we can hold a glass tumbler in our hands because of friction between the glass tumbler and our hands. If the outer surface of a glass tumbler is oily or greasy, having a thin coat of oil on it, then it becomes really difficult for us to hold it. This is because the presence of a film of oil on the outer surface of the glass tumbler reduces the friction between the glass tumbler and our hands. Due to this less friction, the oily glass tumbler tends to slip out of our hand because there is less friction. So it is very difficult to hold it. It is easier to hold a kulhar, that earthen pot that we have, in our hand than a glass tumbler. And why is this? This is because due to the rough surface of the kulhad, the friction between the kulhad and our hand is much more, which makes it easier to hold. On the other hand, due to the smooth surface of a glass tumbler, the friction between glass tumbler and hand is much less, which makes it comparatively difficult to hold it. If there were no friction, it would not be possible to hold a book, a glass tumbler, or a kulhar, or any other object for that fact in our hands. We are able to fix nails in a wall due to friction. When we hammer a nail into the wall, it is because of friction between the surface of nail and the wall, which holds the nail tightly in the wall. Without friction, nail could never be fixed in a wall to hold things. Nails and screws are also held in wood by friction. If there were no friction, then no nails and screws could be used to hold pieces of woods together, and hence there could be no furnitures like tables and chairs. Thus, friction enables nails and screws to hold things together. Friction enables knots to be tied in strings. In other words, knots in ropes are held together by friction. Friction enables a person to climb a tree or pole without sliding down. An oily or greasy pole has much less friction, due to which it becomes difficult to climb up a greasy pole. Friction enables a ladder to be leaned against the wall and not slip down to the floor. Friction also helps in the construction of buildings. Without friction, no building could be constructed. Friction enables the belts to drive machines in factories. And in fact, without friction, belts would not be able to drive the machines. When we rub a matchstick against the rough side of a matchbox, then friction between the head of matchstick and rough side of matchbox produces heat. This heat burns the chemicals present on the head of the matchstick, due to which the matchstick lights up. So the matchstick catches fire and starts burning. The burning of a matchstick would not be possible without friction. It is difficult to light a matchstick by striking it on a smooth surface, because enough friction is not provided by a smooth surface to produce sufficient heat for a matchstick to catch fire and light up. And this minimum heat is also known as ignition temperature. We are able to cut wood because there is friction between the saw blade and the log of wood. If there were no friction between the saw blade and log of wood, then cutting the wood would not have been possible. So, friction plays a very important role. I have discussed in this lecture about the advantages of friction. In the next lecture of the series, we'll be talking about the disadvantages of friction. This brings us to the end of lecture number 3. I believe the advantages of frictions that we have discussed over here is well understood. Still, in case you have queries, please do feel free to write to me at sanyal.shankha@gmail.com. And by now, I believe you all are aware that where you need to send your worksheets. Thank you so much.